Good day, grade 12s. Today we're looking at social implications, chapter 11, our last chapter of theory that we need to do. Okay, so the first word you need to know is our ICT, Information Communication Technology. So things you can look at, how does it influence our privacy, people that share information like on Facebook, benefits of social networking, disadvantages of social networking. So let's have a look at all these things. First word they talk about here is globalization. That is because our businesses nowadays, even if you've got a small shop in a small town, you can actually compete with worldwide with other companies. So you can sell to anybody anywhere across the world. But your problem also is anybody from across the world could also sell to your customers. So the whole world is seen as one civilization, but it's globe. So that's what globalization. Okay, then, so this is basically everything I just said now. Okay, distributed computing power. Distributed computing refers to computer projects where hundreds or even thousands of computers across the world work together to solve a problem. So important words with this is it is a lot of computers from across the world that solves one problem. So it's not computers working on different problems. All of the computers work towards solving one specific problem. And then, so these things are normally used where there's big things like finding a solution to the Ebola virus, or in our case now for the coronavirus, and then finding solution for childhood cancer. So it's finding new prime numbers. So it's very big equations where a lot of people needs to work together. A lot of times this is also done to save money, so that companies that need to do this don't need to buy their own big specialized computers like NASA and them, but they can actually just, where there's people that share their computers processing power with these companies to allow them to do good things. So decision making, computers have changed and is continuing to change human decision making. So in this case, it ranges from decisions as simple as when to do exercises and which road to take, to potentially life-changing changes such as which romantic partners would suit you and what job occupations would suit you. There are a lot of programs that they design to try and solve these issues for people. Okay. So the next thing, how does our society evolve? So first thing there is our information overload. Nowadays, if you search for information on the internet, you actually get too many responses. But it doesn't matter how specific you make your searches, you will still get thousands of hits of sites that you could get information from. And then to try and decide which ones is the correct one, which one's most correct. To limit your time spending on social media, to not save your username and password. So this is everything you can do to try and minimize the time you spend on social media so that you can actually spend the time on more important things. Okay. Availability of personal information. Personal information. Nowadays, you can just go to Facebook, look for a specific person, and you can actually get a lot of information about that person. That is self-employed, studied at UNISA, went to that high school, and then using this you can actually gain more information about them. Sometimes you could even get their email address and everything, and then at the end hackers can use this information to try and do that identity theft we spoke about in previous chapters, where they try to replicate you. And also on this they could use pictures of yourself, and then they can use that to create an Instagram account with your picture and your details and try to steal information from you or from people that knows you. So it is actually very difficult, and then you also get your stalkers that could stalk people or victims. Then let's see what else is here. Okay, global community. the cultural effects. Globalization allows people from across the world to form part of a global community where everyone can share and enjoy other people's kind of cultures. So, for example, most people today watch international movies and listen to international music. There are also many people that are interested in and follow international news. So, all these things actually develop, like especially teenagers and young kids, it allows them to develop their culture. Now, because of globalization, they are actually exposed to a lot of other countries' cultures, and that's why our kids can becomes more, they forget or neglect their own culture, and then they lose their personal identity, and they seek their own culture, and they're creating these new mixed cultures as such. Social websites and social engineering. A few ways in which social engineering is practiced. So either baiting, this depends on a victim taking the bait, similar to a fish reacting on a worm on a hook. The person dangling the bait wants to entice the target to take into taking action. Unknowingly download malware on a server. So this could be like they'll say that you have won 1 million rand and you must just download this form to complete it so that the money can be transported or placed into your account. And by doing that, you could actually download malware onto your PC. Phishing, we discussed this. Phishing is where you get an email somebody trying to entice you into giving out some of your information so that they can use it for identity theft. Email hacking and contact spamming. Pretexting is a trick to get someone's attention so the fraudster can trick the would-be victim into providing something of value. And then quid pro quo. This can involve an exchange. I give you this and you give me that. On this point, social engineering, that is the act where people is tricking other people into giving information. This is one of our biggest problems we have nowadays because of our security of all our websites, like we discussed previously with the SSL, where a lot of information is actually protected when we send information. So what hackers do now, instead of trying to hack into complicated systems, they try to do social engineering, of which these things are options that they use or methods they use to try and get you to give out your personal information instead of them trying to hack in and then steal your information. Okay, other things we've got is our wikis. Wikis are encyclopedias that can be edited by anyone, and that is our problem why they say wikis cannot be used as a reference. But wikis, once you found good information on a wiki, you can always look at what the reference for this particular article is. A reference is at the bottom, and then you can use those references as references for that particular information. Or you can go to those sites and see what they say. So wikis are good because there's a lot of information, but some of the problems is there is bias of editors. So some of the editors could, the way they write it could lead people into a specific direction. Okay, privacy and information sharing. So privacy is defined as a person's ability to control how information about them is shared with other people and institutions. So different things we've got here. We've got cookies. Cookies, as explained in chapter 1, is a text file that stores your preferences of a particular website. So some websites will actually look which cookies do you have to notice which website you visit and what are your preferences to make their website look more attractive to you. They can also use this then to steal information from you. Anonymity. So as you know, most websites allow people to use them anonymously, even when they require people to create accounts. Few websites require people to prove their identity. So somebody could create an account, say they're somebody else, and then try to just create all lies and fake information. Okay, so anonymity has got its advantages, but it's also got its disadvantages. Global unique identifiers. Okay, so that's GUID, Global Unique Identifier, is a term used by Microsoft. This is the number that its programming generates to create a unique identity for an entity such as a Word document. It just tries to make them unique. File sharing. The internet is quickly becoming many users' preferred source of music, films, and other forms of entertainment. Again, this isn't all bad. Remember, you can, with like Netflix and Showmax, legally share movies and stuff. So it's not all, but there are a big part of piracy that is illegal. And that is the end of our textbook. Alright, good luck everybody. Hope it helped.